This meeting is being recorded.
Indeed it is. We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 418. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff, and also your current reigning Scholars of Wrestling Party Champion. Joining us this week, the one and only, the OG Undisputed Scholar himself. He is Scholar Tarek. Scholar Tarek, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well. At first, I'm just thinking, well, with your little intro, it's like, and it has. I wonder if people listening to watching this show have any idea what you're talking about. It's just like, what is? But I'll tell you what it is. It's WrestleMania! WrestleMania!
The hype is so real, it blew out your mic. That's
It's
okay.
the most wonderful time of the year if you're a wrestling fan.
Yes, there's so much happening, and we're going to be covering it all. But first, going out further down the line, joining us this week also is another Undisputed Scholar and our partner crime from the OG days. He is Scholar Brian. Scholar Brian, what's happening with you, sir?
It's WrestleMania season, and for the first time in a long time, I'm actually excited for it. A lot of not very predictable shit going on this weekend. I'm ready to get into it.
Yes. Also joining us this week is our Scholars of Wrestling World Champion himself, Scholar Charlie, and still the carrier of the Scholars in the Bank briefcase. Scholar Charlie, how are you feeling about WrestleMania?
It's WrestleMania weekend, fellas, and I'm looking forward to every match on the card aside from one of them. You'll hear which one that is later on in the show, and hopefully I can defend against you guys and successfully and retain both my briefcase and championship.
Well, may the odds ever be in your favor. But speaking of the odds being in someone's favor, last but certainly not least, he is the coach. He is the one and only Scholar Jeremy. Scholar Jeremy, how you feeling about WrestleMania this year?
It's WrestleMania. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I'm hyped for the first time in many years for WrestleMania, especially for a WWE pay-per-view. Let's go for this.
Absolutely. The possibilities are ripe. Anything can happen for the most part. And we've got a lot of wrestling to enjoy this week. But first of all, on the WWE side of things, we are first going to be going through NXT Stand and Deliver. So let's just dive right in. And we're going to be taking a look at Stand and Deliver, starting with the first match on the card. We've got, at least on this card I've got in front of me, a 8-person intergender tag match between Chase University and Tyler Bate versus the entirety of Schism, led by Joe Gacy, Ava Raine, and all of their other people who are not Joe Gacy and The Rock's daughter. With that, Charlie, as the defending champion, you have the option of going first pick or deferring in order. Which do you choose?
You know what? Last time I deferred. This time I'm going to choose first pick. I'm going with Schism to take this one.
All right. By the way, in case you didn't catch it, there's a stipulation where if Schism wins, they officially take over Chase University, whatever that means. I don't know. It's their storyline.
Sure.
Either way, Scholar Jeremy, it's your pick up next. Who do you got?
Chase you. Chase you. Chase you. I jumped on the bandwagon. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I can see them winning. I don't think they're going to give up the school to Schism. No way.
All right. Starting off interesting right out of the gate. I love it. Tarek, it's your pick up next. Who do you got?
This just shows you how prepared I was for this one.
Follow your heart.
Who are the participants again?
Chase you and Tyler Bate versus Schism.
I'll go with Schism. just because I'm just going to throw names for when it comes to stand and deliver. So I guess you can say I'm not, well, I'm sick and I'm failing to deliver the enjoyment I have for these predictions. I'm just waiting for WrestleMania.
Hey, even if you ride it out, there's going to be something for everybody.
Giggity.
Brian, it's your pick up next.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat as Torek on this one. I could really care less about Chase University. I like Joe Gacy. I like Gaber Reigns. So we'll go. It's NXT Stand and Deliver. Championship's not on the line for this one. I'll just throw it out there. Schism for the win.
Yeah, I'll tell
And
you
if
what.
if you throw a stipulation in like that, okay, like 75% of the time, the stipulation comes true. So I'm gonna get so based off of that, I'll say that makes my decision process easier. Schism for the win.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. At first, I thought this was a little cut and dry, but then again, with Chase University having a little bit of a following here, Jay is making me think that there's still a possibility. Not a likely one, but there's still a possibility. So at this point, I'm still going for points. So I'm going to trust my gut and go with Schism for this one.
All
I
right,
could
me
be
against.
wrong. It's you against the world, Jaybird.
Yep,
And
let's
speaking
go.
of you,
Let's
you've
do it.
got the first pick for this next match on the card. We've got the triple threat tag team match for the NXT tag titles. We've got the incoming champions Gallus defending their titles against the Creed brothers and the D'Angelo family. Jay, who do you got for this one?
I'm gonna go with the retain. I'm gonna go with Gallus.
All right, that's one for Gallus. Tarek, it's your pick up next. Who do you got on this tag match?
I'm going to be a little bitch and just play it safe. I'm going to do a successful retention on whoever the tag team champions are because I missed I missed the names.
That would be Gallus,
Gallus?
the Irish guys.
Okay, sure, them.
Yeah, those dudes.
I'm sorry. I'm not following NXT anymore, so everything is just news to me. Is brand new, and as I said earlier, and what Brian's agreed with, I just don't care. This is just points now.
In all fairness, I feel like it took after the rebrand and then the rebrand back into black and gold. I feel like it took me a little while to get back into NXT. So I certainly don't blame you for that. And there hasn't been too much in happening in this version of the tag division right now that's really been clicking for me. So I really can't fault you too hard for that one.
It
That
may
being
be
said-
like it may have gone back to the black and gold, but like I feel like the white in the NXT logo is just a sign of there's still a little bit of that dude love in the Cactus Jack NXT meme, if you actually remember that meme that Noel Foley posted after the initial rebrand.
I did not actually, but I'll tell you what, you're not too far off the mark from that. You can definitely tell that they're trying to do the best with what they've got and the talent they've got to work with. And a great many of the talent have indeed risen to the occasion, metaphorically speaking. Unfortunately, in my mind, I feel like there hasn't been a lot to really gravitate to, particularly in the tag division, but I'll elaborate on that a little bit more in just a minute. Because right now, Brian, it's your pick. Who do you got between Gallus, the Creed brothers, and the D'Angelo family?
I'm gonna go based off of character work on this one because it's based off of pure wrestling ability alone. It's between Gallus and the Creed brothers. I enjoy the Creed brothers for what they are, but you know what? I'm from Jersey. I love me some Italian mobsters. I'm
You're
gonna.
going with
I'm,
the
I'm going with the D'Angelo family based off of that
Wow.
alone, because because I love the character work. They do it so well. So it's like if it probably won't happen, but I love the characters, so not really invested in it. But
As Angel
give me
and
some
Jello
give me some Italian mobsters as tag team champions. Why the hell not?
got yourself a gun.
I'll
Got
tell you
yourself a
what,
gun.
I did not expect you to say that.
No.
And honestly, the D'Angelo family kind of pisses me off. Like, it's just
That's the
so
point.
like gabagool. Shut
That's the
up.
point. No,
Mhm.
that's
Take the
legitimately how
gun.
they
Leave,
speak.
leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
That's
And there's no
legitimately how
cannoli.
they speak. Yeah,
There were cannolis
that's
in one episode. And it's just a bunch of just like stereotypical doing a voice gabagool bullshit. Like,
A bop a boop, a bop a boop.
yeah.
yeah, it's stereotypical, but that's how they talk. That's
Ugh.
legitimately how they talk. It's not like it's not a trope. That it's what they do.
But I'll tell you what, as soon as I saw Tony D'Angelo, I was like, and I the first heard the voice, it just seemed so exaggerated and over the top, like you're doing like a cartoon voice. Like I can't take him seriously, but I did see that they did just do a thing where he he made Stacks a part of the family. He's like in now, and it's like that's
Does he like pancakes?
And one of the best NXT stories last year was
stacks of
that
money,
whole.
stacks of green A,
But
gabagool,
one of the best NXT stories last year was the family versus Escobar and the Legados Fantasma. So it's like that whole storyline was amazing. So, and it was based off of sit downs and doing all that. So it's like, hey, if you're gonna go for it, lean into it.
I'm like,
And they
it's
have.
all that stuff and more that gives me a very bad feeling that they might actually give the tag titles to D'Angelo's now.
You say
So-
bad feeling, I say love it.
Brian says, bring it on.
Yeah, damn it. I wish I didn't want to pick them, but I'm going to go with the D'Angelo's this time. I think they have a strong chance. Charlie, bring peace to this madness. Who do you got?
I'm going to be a bitch and go with Gallus to retain.
Just watch. This one match is going to screw up the scores for the entire weekend. Just watch.
Probably.
But anyway, moving on to the next match on the card, we've got for the NXT North American Championship, we've got Wes Lee defending his title against Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Ilya Dragunov, and Axiom. Tarek, it's your pick up first for this one. Who do you got?
I'm going to go with Dragon Lee because he's the new signee, right?
Yes, he is.
And
They
what
just
better way to
signed
make
him
an
as
impact in
another
your
league.
debut? What better way to make an impact in your WWE debut than win the North American Championship?
Interesting pick.
Agreed.
Brian, who do you got?
Same wavelength. Keep it on a lead, put it on Dragon.
All right. I wish this didn't start making sense, but I'm going to be a bitch and I'm going to go with Dragon Lee because I'm an impressionable youth. Charlie, who do you got?
I guess I'll continue being a bitch then because I'm going with Dragon Lee.
Yes.
Okay. And with that, Jeremy, it's your pick. Are we all a bunch of bitches or what?
But he's a botcher. He's crippled more superstars in New Japan than he has like ever in all. Fuck it, I'll go with Dragon Lee. I'll be a bitch.
I'm sensing a severe trend of, oh, hey, I hate this guy. I'm picking him to win.
Oh, that caught me off guard.
you know your night is
welcome.
made when you made Tarek choke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you made Man,
You're
I snuck in a slice of pizza because I didn't have dinner before recording. Completely caught me off guard.
Well,
I'm
I'll
good.
tell you what. Here, on that note, let's move on to a little bit of a palate cleanser here. We've got the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. Again, we've got the champions Fallon Henley and Kiana James defending their titles against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Brian, it's your pick up next. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go with new tag team champions. I'm gonna go with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Basically, because the tag team champions we have now don't even really like each other, and they're not a well cohesive team compared to who they're facing, and they've started having friction. So play it up and have them lose, and the tag team, there's a feud right there, and move on with your life.
Yeah, this one, just due to the way everything's been building up, like this is gonna sound absurd, but I actually have been finding myself enjoying this storyline between Fallon Henley and Kiana James. It's like they're both very likable in their own way, but they're fighting a couple of goth girls, so I'm going to go Team Goth Girls. Charlie, who do you got between Team Goth Girls and I'm not even going to say what, the other team, the champs? Who do you got?
I'm going Team Goth Girls and new.
All right, that's 3 for Team Goth Girls. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about yourself. Pick a team.
I love me some golf girls. Let's go for 4. Let's go 4 for 4.
Jeez, you name a team, Team Goth Girls.
You started it.
What would you even call like the other team? Team Bartender and Office Lady? Like
Team opposites? I don't know.
I shudder where my imagination's going right now. Interrupting Cow, Moo, Tarek, make your pick.
I'll continue to be a bitch and just say new tag champs.
Team Goth Girls.
Team Goth Girls. Team Goth Girls. They just hate the world so much.
And yet
And they're just gonna go into Hot Topic. That's why they go to Hot Topic.
And gather simps all day. But anyway, enough of this nonsense. Let's move on to another women's match for a ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. We've got Roxanne Perez, Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Stratton, Lyra Valkyria, and Indy Hartwell. And it's my pick up next. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of storyline build. It seems like they're trying to replicate or sort of remix an old HBK storyline with the Lost My Smile, blah, blah, blah. With Roxanne Perez, I think there's a chance that she could win and retain, but my gut is telling me that this is going to be a red herring. I think they're going to give it to Tiffany Stratton, and that they can give her the title without any really affecting Roxanne Perez a little too much, because I think they definitely have stake in both women here. But I'm going to go with Tiffany Stratton to win. Charlie, it's your pick up next. Who you got between all the ladies?
Well, when Roxanne Perez was taken out of this match, I also thought Tiffany Stratton would win. But since Roxanne Perez is put back in, I just have a strong feeling she's retaining.
All right. Next up, we got Jaybird. Who you got?
Made a good case, Jeff. I'm gonna go with Tiffany Stratton as well.
All right. The room is starting to split. Tarek, it's your pick up next. Who do you got?
I don't care. Roxanne Perez.
Okay.
Roxanne Perez, because why the hell not?
Roxanne. All right.
Roxanne. Sure, that's my reason.
Because you like the song. Okay, fair enough.
Should be a
Brian,
theme
we got
song, is it?
Oh, definitely not. She's way too chipper and bright and happy to to have that for a theme song. But Brian,
Having
we
a
do have a
happy-go-lucky.
split room.
Roxanne.
Roxanne is covered by like a pop punk band from the early 2000s. Make
No,
it
it's
happen.
oh God, what is the name? What is the name of that children's TV show? That has that famous famous song that it's a piece of cake. They make the pretty cake.
Lazy
If the
Town.
way is lazy.
No clue.
I
Lazy
know what
Town.
you're talking about. I can't. Oh my god, I can't.
Have them sing their rendition of Roxanne, and that's her theme song.
Brian, clearly we have a split room right now. Inject some sanity into this. Who do you pick in the win?
I don't know about injecting any sanity, but Roxanne Perez was supposed to. Is she going into this as the champion, or did they strip her?
Yeah,
I
no,
thought they
she's going
stripped
into
her.
the champion.
Okay,
She's still the
well,
champion, yes.
And she
Okay,
still has her
well-
clothes. They did not strip her.
Jeez, you talk about goth girls one time, and then all of a sudden the show goes off the rails.
Next thing you know, you're
Ryan?
talking about Lazy Town and stripping.
Well, either way,
Ugh.
I don't feel like they've built up anybody well enough the way that they built up Roxanne before she won the title. Okay, I don't think they've built up anyone strong enough to have me believe that they're taking the title off of her yet. So I'm gonna go with the retention for Roxanne Perez.
All right. There's some patterns starting to form here. It's very interesting. But anyway, moving on to our next match for Stand and Deliver. We've got a grudge match between Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller. Charlie, it's your pick up next. Give us something.
I'm stuck on this one. And I'm stuck because so far Grayson Waller's gotten the best of Johnny Gargano. I want really badly for Grayson Waller to win this one. So fuck it. It's just a point when it all comes down to it. Grayson Waller.
All right, that's one for Grayson Waller. Jay Bird, who do you got?
Johnny Gargano for the win.
All right, we got another one. Tarek, who do you got?
I'll be different. Johnny Wrestling. It's essentially their WrestleMania. The person who's representing Shawn Michaels wins. LOL.
Okay, then. Brian, who do you got between Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller?
This would have been harder for me to predict if Grayson Waller hadn't broken into this man's house and beat him up in front of his wife and kid. Okay, that brings it to a whole new level, and Johnny Gargano has to put a whooping on his ass. So based off of that alone, it's got to be Johnny Gargano.
Yeah,
You can't break it. You can't break into a man's house, beat his ass in front of his wife and kid, and then go out and win. No, that's not how it works.
In my world, that's how it's going. Okay, leave me alone.
you do make a good point. I feel like traditional logic also dictates that you should probably put the up and coming talent. Meanwhile, Johnny Gargano is still on the main roster. But given that he is still on the main roster, it looks like most likely Grayson Waller is going to have some more time to cook a little bit down in NXT. Yeah, it's a safe bet. I'm going to go with Johnny Gargano as well. That brings us to our main event for Stand and Deliver. We've got Braun Breaker defending the NXT Championship against Carmelo Hayes. Jaybird, it's your pick up first. Who you got?
So only Carmelo Hayes. I'm going with Braun Breaker.
Okay, Tarek, what's your pick between Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes?
This is actually the only one that I actually put thought into this. I'm going to go with Carmelo Hayes.
All right. Next
have my
up,
reasons.
Brian. Brian,
I'm also going with Anu because whether you like him or not, it doesn't really matter because Braun Breaker's going to be up on Raw on Monday. So I think that this is going to Carmelo Hayes is going to win, and Braun Breaker, and this gives Braun Breaker the opportunity to go up to the main roster without any NXT baggage on him. Doesn't have the title or anything. He can go up to the main roster where he probably should have been a little while ago. So I get, yeah, it's Carmelo Hayes.
I'll tell you what, I didn't really think that far ahead. There's one factor and one factor only that's feeding into my prediction right now. I just feel like Braun Breaker has been champion for way too long. They need a fresh main event scene, and Carmelo Hayes has been performing so well for so long that I can't shake the feeling that it's his time. I'm going to also go with Carmelo Hayes. Charlie, where are you landed on this one?
I agree with Brian completely on every word he said there. Carmelo Hayes is winning this. You'll see Braun on Monday.
All right. And that is Stand and Deliver locked in. But now we move over to the big show, the show of shows. As soon as I came out of my mouth, why?
It's WrestleMania, baby. Woo!
Ooh. Yes, it is WrestleMania. We're going to be looking at night 1 of WrestleMania, baby woo. Kicking things off with the often report. Has it been confirmed that
Yes.
Austin Theory and John Cena
Yes.
is opening a show?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
then so it shall be with us. We've got Austin Theory defending his U.S. championship against John Cena. Tarek, it's your pick up first. Who do you got?
I'm actually kind of happy that I'm first on this one because I'm actually gonna continue with what Charlie and Brian said and go one step further with it. I'm going to predict that Austin Theory will successfully defend the United States Championship against John Cena at WrestleMania and then lose it on the Raw to Braun Breaker.
Ooh.
Bold prediction. Bold prediction.
Huh.
Brian, aftermath notwithstanding, who do you think is going to take it on this night?
Yeah, I didn't think about it that far. The only thing I thought about was Austin Theory got completely bitched by
Yeah,
John
he sure
Cena
did, didn't he?
in that promo, and he needs to get it back. So it's like, and John Cena is going back to shoot movies and Peacemaker and all that. So this is a one-off. So Austin Theory can use this as a catapult to whatever they're going to be doing with him in the future. Austin Theory beats John Cena, retains United States title.
I'll tell you what, I came very close to going with Theory, but then a thought occurred to me after Tarek went on his little prediction spiel there. Yeah, Cena is not going to be around for very long. But what if something very different happens? What if instead of Theory retaining at WrestleMania, what if Cena wins at WrestleMania, and then the next night on Raw, that's when Cena loses it to Braun Breaker and puts Braun Breaker over?
It's possible. I mean, the only
What,
real
brings
thing I could
back
really
his
have
open
against
challenge?
that, the only thing I really have against that is I don't think this is going to be I don't think the United States Championship is going to be a very long match. Because Cena has been out of the game for a while. The only time he does come back, which was that final SmackDown last year, and all he did was just do his moves. I think he's still on that. I don't think he cleared off any more ring rust. So if you're going to have a somewhat lengthy title match on the next night on Raw to show how good Braun Breaker is, I would say have him work with someone who doesn't have the ring rust and someone who just got off a huge win against a 16-time world champion. Yeah. Hey, that would be a good one too for Braun Breaker, just so because he beat John Cena. It would be a good rub for him.
Yeah, but then again, I also don't think it's the most likely scenario, so I'm going to go with Theory to win.
Did I change your mind?
Rolled.
Did I change your mind, or did I?
No.
Or were you actually trolling this entire time?
I was trolling this entire time. I was just going to throw it out there
Oh.
as a possibility, but I was never actually going to pick it.
Bravo. You
Charlie?
actually had me going there.
I was just going to let you rant. Like, I didn't expect it to turn into a thing. Or like, okay, roll with
Was
it,
it
baby.
really a rant, though? Did I really rant?
No, it was a
Not
good
really.
explanation.
It was just more. It was more detailed than I was expecting.
It's more just calling out on your bullshit.
Whatever. Charlie, it's your pick up next. What do you got?
Austin Theory is successfully retaining the championship.
And Jaybird, do we have an accord?
With everything said, even though Theory got bitched, I'm not convinced he's gonna beat a 16-time world champion. I'm gonna go with Cena.
Ooh, another
Wow.
contrarian pick. Bold move. All right. Speaking of contrarian, it's the battle of the contrarian versus the contrarian's dad. We've got Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Brian,
good one.
it's your pick up next. Who do you got?
Rey Mysterio is gonna beat that ass, and then Dom Mysterio is gonna lie, cheat, and steal to win. Dominic Mysterio will beat his dad on this day. This feud ain't over, not by a long shot. But Dom gets
Yep.
the first win.
Yeah, I can definitely see Ray giving the nod to Dom, putting him over at WrestleMania of all places. Like, he's a veteran at the end of his career. His son is still just getting started with that. How do you not do everything you can to put your son over? I'm also going to go with Dom to win.
Yeah, and when he's finally got a character that works,
This works now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When
Like,
you
he
finally have
got
a
something
character
that works for him.
then
Oh, okay. I thought you said
gotta
that he will
play
get
that.
to a character that works. I'm like, what do you mean?
When you're floundering and you finally get that character that works, okay, you got to roll with that for at least a little while. Prison Dom has to get one over on his dad, especially after all the stuff he's been talking about Eddie Guerrero. You gotta act like him now. Lie, cheat, and steal, baby.
All right, Charlie, who you got between Ray and Dom?
This is one that I thought was going to be a surprise pick with me picking Dom, but I guess not. Dominic Mysterio wins.
That is why you fail.
All right, Jay, are we here for another bold prediction, or are you going to play it safe?
I'll play it safe and I'll go with Dominic for this one.
Okay, and Tarek, do we have an accord here again?
We do have an accord. I'm also going to go with sub Dom.
Isn't that a what do you call that? Never mind. Anyway, go on.
It's pretty much just what Brian said. He's going to. This feud is far from over. It has only begun. But yeah, Dom is definitely going to win. He's going to lie, cheat, and steal. A part of me even thinks they're going to have him Ray pull a Bailey, Alexa Bliss moment from years ago where she was just being hesitant of taking that extra step. In Bailey's case, it was just using a kendo stick. But in this case, it would actually make more sense because it's a man hesitant to actually really just go full anger out at his son. Dom is going to use that cheating. Why are you doing this to me, Daddy? Why are you doing this to me? Low blow. while the ref is distracted by, I don't know, whoever's there with him.
Yeah.
Rhea, Damian Priest, Finn Balor.
It's probably going to be
Yeah.
Damian Priest because everyone else is going to be busy with matches.
like-
But honestly, I think Dom is going to like do like more Eddie stuff where he comes out in like the low rider or Eddie's old music or something like that.
Latino heat.
Hey, stranger things have happened.
Viva la raza.
Oh, I'm going old school. Mamacita.
Nah, I like the other one better.
Only if he comes out with Rhea. If he comes out with Rhea, you got to do the Mamacita.
Him coming in, like he'll go full Eddie and even have the bag of like the little thing of roses to give to Rhea every time. Eddie and China. Oh, that's nostalgia.
Good times, good times.
Good times.
But anyway, those are our picks for that match. Moving on to Seth Rollins going up against Logan Paul. It's my pick up first. I'm going to flat out just go with Seth Rollins here. It's Logan Paul's last match under his current contract. Plus, let's be real, there's no way he's going to lose. There's no way he's going to win to get a win over Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I just don't see it happening. So I'm going with Seth Rollins. Charlie, who do you got?
And I do see it happening because he could easily sign a contract extension backstage at Mania, or who knows if he hasn't already. Logan Paul's winning.
Interesting. Jeremy, which one's your pick?
That just sucks. I'm gonna go with Logan Paul.
Am I actually going to be in the minority here for a change? Tarek, who do you got?
I'm not gonna lie. This is actually the hardest match for me to decide. I'm trying to think, like, do they actually like Seth has been booked to a point where he looks like he's just constantly underestimating Logan Paul just because of the fact that he doesn't want him to be there. But then you're also looking at Logan Paul where he's still technically the celebrity. And do celebrities win at WrestleMania? Yeah, they do. He's only had the tag team match at Mania with him and Miz, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mania, yeah.
So I can even see them having him develop a winning streak at WrestleMania. So I'm going to go with Logan Paul.
Oh,
Very
boy.
hesitantly.
All right, Brian, what's your pick between Logan Paul and Seth Rollins?
I look at the three people who picked Logan Paul, and I look at them and say, it's all right to be wrong. Seth Rollins for the win. It's just, first of all, Logan Paul's knocked out Seth Rollins twice in the build-up. Seth Rollins really hasn't done anything to the man. Okay, it's if you're looking at the way that WWE normally works its storylines, okay, it's a Seth Rollins win, and I'm gonna go with the regular booking, and I'm not 100% sure that Logan Paul continues. I think Logan Paul is done. I think Logan, for the time being, with all of his legal troubles and stuff that he's going to be going through in the next little bit with his NFT, with his NFT bullshit and all that. I think he's going to need some time away from WWE, and I think after this you're going to want to put Seth Rollins in high-profile storylines like WWE title-wise. So I think at that point, do you give it to the celebrity who's probably not going to be around for the next little while, or do you give it to the guy who is going to be around probably in world title feuds in the coming months? I think you have to give it to Seth Rollins at that point. So for the first time on the actual card, Charlie and I differ. It's a title match now. That's it.
And there it goes. Speaking of title matches, this is not one of them. Next match, we've got Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch going up against Damage Control. 6-man tag time. Charlie, who's your pick?
Why do I have to be first on this one? There's rumor and hearsay that Trish is gonna turn on Lita and Becky Lynch. I don't believe that and want to choose Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus.
Okay, so we're going with Team Becky. All right, Jay, who do you got for this one?
I'm gonna go with Damage Control. I think they need a good win.
Okay, we got something going here. Tarek, who do you got between the ladies?
I am also gonna go with
Drum roll, please.
Becky Lynch, Trish, and Lita.
Okay.
This is going to be the end of Damage Control. I actually think they're going to break up. They're going to break up in this match, and everyone's just going to walk out on Bayley. I actually do think they are going to save the Trish heel turn on Becky when. Actually, I actually think that it may be the Raw after, or just one of the shows after, because I think they're going to lose. The turn's going to happen when Lita and Becky defend their women's tag team championship against their next opponent.
Interesting. Ryan, which way you going on this one?
I also believe that by the end of Raw on Monday, Damage Control is going to be split up, and Trish is going to turn on Becky and Lita. But, okay, on WrestleMania, it's going to be, this is the one where I'm having the part-timers go over the established everyday talent. I'm going Becky, Lita, and Trish, and when they defend the tag team titles against who I've got winning the showcase tag team match, that's when the turn will happen, and they can start setting up Trish versus Becky for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was feeling the exact same way. The next title defense is going to be the winners against the winners of the.
Yeah, but a bunch of these matches at WrestleMania are going to end in feel-good moments. I think that this is going to be one of them that you want, with the sale of WWE coming and all that. You want to see favorites win at WrestleMania, and Trish and Lita are pretty much all-time female favorites. So I can see them going over in this match.
Oh, brother. I wish this didn't make so much sense. I really wanted to go with Damage Control for this one, but the evidence is too strong. I just can't. I'm going to go with Team Becky for this one.
I disagree. I think Bayley needs a moment. Bayley needs her WrestleMania moment.
She absolutely does deserve it. I'm like,
but what way to put her over then against the legends?
It's a really tough call to make on this one. But
well, it's also
one.
Yeah, it's also okay. You want Bayley to get her moment going over legends, but the only way they'll go over the legends is if Trish turns.
Exactly.
So, but the issue is then she wouldn't be getting one over on the legends because the legend turned on the legend. That's not a moment.
She still gets the win. She still gets the win, dude. That's all that matters.
That's not a moment. I'll give her a moment next year.
All right. Speaking of moments, we've got night one's men's tag team showcase match, whatever
night
that
one?
means. It is night.
Yep.
It is listed as being night one.
Oh,
Did
did
Braun
not know.
Strowman and Ricochet going up against the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Jeremy, it's your pick up next. What do you got?
You know, I never pick good on these ones. I'm just gonna go with the Viking Raiders.
Okay, we've got one for the Vikings. Tarek, who do you got?
Uh,
Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, or the Viking Raiders?
Street Profits. The way I looked at this, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I did a repeat of one mistake I did with the Street Profits before, but I'm not gonna say what it was. Jeff and Charlie know what it is.
I actually don't recall what this was.
I'll save it for after we record.
Okay, fair enough.
But the way I looked at this is just who do I want to see face Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Spoiler on my prediction later for the tag team championship. And I definitely see Street Profits being those guys.
All right. Brian's your pick up next. Who do you got here?
See, I kind of went into it the same way that Tarek did, except I didn't go who I want to see. I'm going by dynamics. Okay, storylines, feuds going forward. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are big time faces, baby faces. Okay, you're not gonna do a feud for the titles with the Street Profits. Okay?
Who said it have to be a feud? Just a match.
Yeah, no. But they're gonna do a match either way at some point. But for me to jump off, I need a heel to go with the top face dynamics. And Jeremy kind of threw it out there like nothing, but I actually put thought into it. Yeah, I think the Viking Raiders should win this.
Oh,
I
cool.
think they really should. If
Nice.
you do the Street Profits, or if you do a Braun Strowman and Ricochet, okay, that's basically fan service. Okay, top baby faces going over in a nothing tag team match that doesn't move anything forward. Okay, at least when the Viking, if the Viking Raiders win, okay, you can set up a title feud right there. Doesn't just lead to a match, get a feud going.
I'll tell you what, I find it a little funny that nobody is mentioning Alpha Academy right now because they're just as in this as anybody else.
Because
But they're not going to do anything.
I think the male maximum models are going to come out and screw over Gable.
Yeah, they're going to just take them out of the match. So
yeah, but then again, here's another one. I really my gut instinct said the Street Profits, but then again, there's a case being made for the Vikings right now. Screw it. I'm going to go with my first pick. I'm going to stick with the Street Profits. Charlie, it's your pick. We got a split room. Who do you got?
I gotta agree with Tarek on this one. It doesn't have to be a feud after Mania. It could just be a great title match.
and even if it does, the Street Profits have been hinting at possible heel turns.
This is true too.
So it is very likely that the Street Profits can do a heel turn and make it into a feud. But when it comes to the showcase matches, I look at this as just the winners of these matches get tag team title shots.
Yeah.
And it could easily get a storyline built from it.
So
Especially when you have someone like Triple H running it. So with the winning, like them actually giving, I'm not going to say prizes, but just rewards, I guess is a better word. Rewards for their big, for their win in a showcase match. Like Maybe they'll do something with King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring when we get to there. But maybe it's just another sign of just you will get something if you win this match, and it could actually lead to something more. I just don't see I love the Viking Raiders. I love them, but I just don't see a long-term storytelling with them.
So I got to go with the Street Profits.
Okay, we're going Street Profits.
Bringing
Very
on the smoke.
interesting- Very interesting picks for this one. I dig it. Next up, we've got the SmackDown Women's Championship match. We've got Charlotte Flair defending against Rhea Ripley. Tarek, it's your pick up next. What do you got?
Oh,
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I just realized what I walked
remember.
into just now.
Don't you put that out into the universe, Tarek Awar.
Oh man, this is just bringing back memories for the last time these two fought at WrestleMania,
Don't
and
do it again.
everybody
Don't do it
everybody
again.
was against me, and I was the only one that got it right.
Put that into the universe,
Don't do
Tarek.
Don't do it again. Do not do it again.
Oh, but when it comes to this case, this year, I'm not going to go with it. I am going to pick Rhea Ripley to dethrone Charlotte Flair,
There you go.
not just as
Thank
a
God.
final like cementing Rhea Ripley as as one of the top female wrestlers in WWE. Also, this is just another match that Charlotte could lose and win the title again to add to her title reigns. Woo.
Brian, your pick up next. Who you going with?
Yeah, I actually love that they incorporated 2 years ago into the story.
I
Because it's
recently
like
watched that prediction show just for this match.
It's like legitimately okay. This entire thing at the beginning, I wasn't for it. I wanted Rhea versus Bianca. That's what I wanted.
Same.
But when she chose Charlotte, I was like, okay, they got to bring up 2 years ago. They have to. They have to bring up 2 years ago, or else this choice doesn't make sense at all. Whatever.
I actually think they
And the
weren't
moment-
going to. I
and
actually
the
think they
moment-
weren't going to, but because of the fan reaction, they're still booing Charlotte. It's kind of turning into a double turn to an extent, because I don't want to see Rhea going full babyface, just being that tweener badass.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got to be Rhea. It's got to be. This is 100% like has to be.
Yeah, I'm definitely seconding that. Shenanigans notwithstanding, it's absolutely Rhea's year. She's had an absolutely phenomenal year, blowing up with the Judgment Day and Dominic and all of that stuff. She's been putting on a clinic. In my mind, it's indisputably her time. Charlie, which way you going on this one?
Without giving away a pick later on, I think Rhea Ripley's winning this one.
I know what you're
I'll-
hinting at.
I'll get back around to it later, but
I know. Mhm.
Rhea Ripley's winning this match. I can't say anything more to it, otherwise I'll spoil it.
Charlie,
Okay.
I think I know what you're hinting at, and I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, we'll see when it gets to that match.
We'll see when it gets to that. Yep.
Okay, fine then. Keep your secrets, as the memes say. Jaybird, it's your pick up next. Who do you got between the ladies?
After the travesty that happened 2 years ago with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley's going to take it. Charlotte owes her this much for that god awful stomp of a match they put on in WrestleMania 36.
It
I'm
wasn't a
talking-
bad match.
That
wasn't
match
a
pissed
bad
me off so
It wasn't
badly.
great. It
It
wasn't
pissed
great.
me off so friggin' badly
Huh.
because Charlotte's the queen of wrestling and no one gives a crap about her anymore. Drop the belt
do.
and retire.
Love you, Charlotte. Always
Nope.
will.
Nope, right in the garbage can.
Oh no, she's gonna go 17 reigns,
No.
man.
No,
Absolutely.
Randy
Yeah.
Orton.
Oh, brother. We're
She'll
back
reach
here
that.
again.
Oh,
Anyway, moving on to the next match in the card and the main event, supposedly, of night one. The Usos defending their tag team titles against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Brian, it's your final pick for night one. Who you got?
Quite possibly the easiest pick of all picks that have ever been picked. It's got to be Owens and Zayn. Has to be. Okay, the way this has been built up over months. Okay, you gotta. It's the beginning of the end of the bloodline. This is how you started off. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win. Okay, Jay's already pissed at Roman. This is the beginning of the downfall.
I'm absolutely going to go with it. It's some things just make sense to do. You're leading in that direction, so I'm also going with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But I think we're all going to go in the same direction, but let's make it official. Charlie, give it to us.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
All right. Jaybird, give it to us.
Before I give my answer, would anyone
Tarek.
what?
Let's let the man speak. Let's
no, it's
Jaybird,
nothing
where
you
you
said.
going
It's
with
nothing
this?
it's nothing you said, Jeremy. I promise. It's
No,
not.
no. All I was gonna say is, would anyone object to Sami Zayn wearing an El Generico mask during the match? That's all I want for WrestleMania.
That would be fun.
But it's gonna be
mm.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens winning.
If anything, his entrance.
There you go. That's all I want.
That would be interesting if they didn't repeatedly reference El Generico as a different character entirely. But hey, little fan service never hurt anybody.
I don't care about that. It's like El Generico mask is all well and good, but it's like bring back the old theme music. Have him come out with the Sami Zayn theme music of old.
I still have it on my phone. Worlds
just
apart.
Have him do that one time. That'll be good enough for me.
And Tarek, make it official. Who do you got?
AO Mania, WrestleZania is running wild, baby. They're gonna win the tag team championships. The end of the bloodline is Mia.
And with that, we are done with night one of WrestleMania. Moving on to night two. And it's my pick for this next match, Brock Lesnar versus Omos. And this might be a little bit controversial, but I think Omos is actually going to go over Brock Lesnar here. This may not be the most hyped match, but you know what? When you got an opportunity, you go for that opportunity. I'm picking Omos to win. Charlie, who do you got for this one between Brock Lesnar and Omos?
I'm shocked that you're picking Omos to win. I think the sole reason they're having this match is for the spot of Lesnar lifting up Omos for the F5. Lesnar's winning.
Okay. Jaybird, who you got?
Was it WrestleMania Backlash where it was Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley? Was that when those two faced off against each other?
I think so.
If it was,
That's a
because
good
I
one.
remember that prediction show, I said, okay, and I'm going to quote myself, Lashley's going to win there and Lesnar's going to win at Mania. I'm sticking with Lesnar.
All right. Another one for Brock. Tarek, who do you got?
Charlie, you're forgetting the one reason why this match really is happening. Because Vince McMahon likes big sweaty man. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty man. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty man. Oh, thank you, Ross Twiddell. King Ross, for some that don't know. I'm also going to go with Bork Laser. Yes, he's in the match. They've been pushing Omos as such a challenge for Brock Lesnar to overcome in this build that it's finally going to happen. The visual is going to be, Brock Lesnar F5ing Omos But this is going to be a lot longer than we're probably going to be expecting, because they're going to have Almost looking really strong in defeat.
All right. And with that, Brian, am I making a big mistake here or what?
You're making a huge mistake, because the whole value of this match is they're trying to do a lesser version of the Hogan Andre moment. They want a picture. They want a bunch of media photographs of Brock Lesnar hoisting up Omos for the F5. You're only going to give one F5. You're not going to try to have him do it 2 or 3 times. He hits him with one. There's not going to be a kick out. But it's Brock Lesnar, because that's the whole point of the match. He's got to actually lift him up and hit the F5 for the match to actually matter. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, there would only be one reason, and that would be to get Lashley and the Hurt Business back into their little feud with Lesnar, but I don't think that's happening. So the entire point's for the F5, and if they don't hit the F5, then it doesn't matter.
All right. On that note, we're moving on to the next match. Whew, we're in the home stretch, kids. Charlie, you got the next pick for this next match for the Raw Women's Championship. We've got Bianca Belair defending against Asuka. Charlie, who do you got?
Asuka's and new.
All right. And Jaybird, who do you got?
You saw my reaction when she came out at Rumble with that face paint on, and we have the return of Kana, aka Asuka. Asuka's going to finally dethrone Bianca Belair.
All right, Tarek, it's your pick up next. Who do you got?
This one actually is also a really, really hard one for me to choose, because in a way, like, both of them really shouldn't lose. But especially considering it's been pointed out to me that Bianca actually is now starting her own undefeated WrestleMania streak with a 2-0 record. Now the question is, like, since they're actually really wanting to push her as Miss WrestleMania, do they want to continue with that streak? But then there's also the fact Asuka just came in with a brand new character, at least WWE's eyes, brand new. And they're really pushing her history in NXT as this unstoppable force. Who would benefit more with the victory? And this one is just this is going to be going with my heart with this prediction. I'm going to go with Asuka. I think Bianca has an amazing title reign, and she's going to have plenty of more wins. She's going to have plenty of more title reigns in the future. Some maybe even with Rhea Ripley, with what Brian and I wanted as a big WrestleMania feud. That match will come eventually, but I feel like Asuka really does need the win more with this introduction of her, this updating of her character.
Interesting takes coming from this one. Brian, what's your pick?
Well, here's my problem with the updating of her character. She came in at the Royal Rumble. Everybody got all excited because we saw it in Japan. It's the coming back of that character for Japan. And what have they done with her after all that?
They turned her into an unstoppable killing force. That's what they did.
Except they didn't at all.
They've made her
Okay,
so
they
intimidating, dude. Come on, I've watched the clips.
No,
Yes.
sorry, they didn't. Because here's the deal. If you're doing video packages and all you're doing is showing her as this unstoppable force, okay, in the lead up to WrestleMania, the entire point of that is this is leading into my pick. And you're not, nothing else is happening other than video packages showing you that she's an unstoppable force from NXT and all that, and all the rest of it is the mist stuff. Okay, it's something for Bianca Belair to overcome. That's all those story beats are telling me. Okay, there's nothing telling me about Asuka becoming your new champion. It's all about, can Bianca Belair overcome this unstoppable force? And if that's the storyline going in, then yes, I'm picking Bianca Belair to retain, because the entire storyline is, can she overcome this unstoppable force? So it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, they updated her character, but you've shown nothing to me that suggests that we're gonna have a new champion. That's it. That's just the way it is. I'm going with Bianca Belair to retain.
You make the strongest point I've heard yet for this. However, I still think Asuka's going to win, just because she has earned it in their hype back, but mostly because they want to push Bianca Belair. I feel like some freshness is needed. No, not like necessarily. There's ways to make her Mrs. WrestleMania without having her win, in the same way that Shawn Michaels was Mr. WrestleMania, but didn't always win his matches. And not for nothing, that freshness can also come from Bianca Belair chasing the title as opposed to having it and letting that whole deal get stale. Freshen both women up a bit by giving Asuka the win at WrestleMania. That's my prediction. But anyway, that's just my opinion for that one. Next up, we've got the women's tag showcase match. We've got the teams of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Jaybird, it's your first pick up next in the ladies showcase match. Who you picking?
Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. That's the best pick out of the whole group. There you go.
And Tarek, who do you got for this one?
Ronda and Shayna.
Okay, I'm thinking this may be one of them. Brian, what do you got?
Yeah, this one's pretty obvious. Okay, the other three aren't even the other three are thrown together teams. The Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler have a background, and they're the ones who could use the win the most, based off of where I think this is going. So Ronda and Shayna to win.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't so clear cut, but yeah, Ronda and Shayna are gonna win this one. At least it'll be nice to see that Shayna Baszler actually gets a decent win at WrestleMania. Charlie, do we have an accord?
This is another one that I thought I was going to be alone on, but Ronda and Shayna win.
All right, and we do have an accord, but will we have one for this one? This next match, we've got Edge versus Finn Balor in Hell in a Cell. Tarek, I believe it's your pick up first. What do you got for this one?
Of course, I get the feud that's been pissing me off. Judgment Day is going to completely take WrestleMania.
Yep. That's what I was getting at before.
Air 5.
Air 5.
Finn Balor not just is going to win, he has to win.
Yep.
This feud has been one-sided the entire time. The only time that Judgment Day got a win over Edge is because they forced him to say, "I quit," so they wouldn't hurt his wife.
And they still hurt his wife.
But what? And how does Edge react? Gets them all eliminated in the Rumble, beats Finn Balor and Rhea in the mixed tag match. And before that, he beat Edge and Ray beat Judgment Day to turn Dom heel. This feud has been completely one-sided. I want this feud to be over. I hate this feud. I hate that Edge has basically been taking this cool idea of the Judgment Day and just continues to shit all over it. And it's his creation. Every time an Edge is not involved with Judgment Day is one of the coolest things to watch in WWE television. And then Edge shows up and makes them bitches every single time. No more bitching. We're getting Demon Finn Balor back in the old school Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
No red cell. Thank God. I don't care that Gangrel is possibly showing up to help. Finn Balor has to win, especially since the last time we saw the Demon, he fell off the ropes and Roman won. We need to make up for so much when it comes to Finn Balor, and this win would cement him as being another huge contender for the WWE Championship.
All right.
Finn Balor.
Interesting. Brian, who do you got for this one?
To be honest, I didn't even think as far deep into it as Tarek just did. I just thought, if you're going to bring the Demon into it, especially after what happened last time, okay, the Demon based off of what happened last time is goofy. Okay, the last time you saw him was the Demon falling off the ropes and getting pinned pretty easily by Roman Reigns. Okay, you need to get the allure of the Demon back. Okay, so if you're gonna bring out the Demon for a Hell in a Cell, okay, it has to be the Demon from NXT, not whatever that was from
Not
from
Vince
his battle
McMahon's
with
Demon.
from his battle with Roman Reigns. Can't have it. So it's like, if you're gonna invoke the Demon's got to actually come, and the Demon's got to be real. The Demon should have never lost in the first place. If it should have been Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor. That's it. No Demon shit. But now it's like they have the chance to get that back. They have a chance to make the Demon what it once was. Okay, and at this point, if you have Edge win here, just stop the Demon. Just stop it. You can't have it anymore. It's not a part of your character anymore. Because if the Demon's gonna lose matches, it can't be there.
I'll
So
tell you
Finn
what, I
Balor
don't
wins.
necessarily agree with that. Like you gotta have these supernatural gimmicks. You gotta keep them strong, but there has to be a losing condition at some point. It just
But
can't be
falling
as
off
dumb as that was dumb. No
Yeah,
question.
it's like that's why I'm like, you got to get the allure back.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, my gut says Edge, but I'm gonna go with Finn Balor here just because I'm a big old coward. Charlie, it's your pick up next. What do you got?
I also think it's going to be a huge night huge 2 nights for Judgment Day. Finn Balor's winning this one.
All right, and Jaybird, do we have an accord on Finn Balor?
For once, I've actually been doing my homework, and WWE, as of their promos now, has wiped that Demon loss off the records. They've been stating the Demon has never lost. The Demon is undefeated in WWE. The Demon has come in and never lost a match. Has been always feared. Finn Balor's going to win, hands down. Let's go. Let's freaking go. As soon as I saw him bringing him back, I'm like, okay, now I'm excited about this Hell in a Cell match.
Interesting. All right, now bring us to
One
our
thing-
penultimate match.
One thing though, if they're gonna bring the Demon back, I need the full Demon entrance.
Yep.
From
Yeah.
NXT.
Why would you not
I
get
need
that?
I need all that. Okay, you can't bring the Demon back without that entrance.
Have it be like the Judgment Day intro that leads to the music.
I'll
And
tell
even
you
make him
what.
purple.
They probably will.
I mean, it's the Judgment Day colors, so why not? black and purple.
I'll tell you what, speaking of things I need to see, this brings us to our penultimate match. We got the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. We got Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Brian, kick us off. What do you got?
You know what? Logic and a bunch of people would tell you Sheamus gets his moment here. I'm not going to do that. I think Gunther retains.
All right.
What I want to do, what I want it to be is I want Sheamus to beat Gunther one-on-one for the Intercontinental title. I think Drew McIntyre actually goes heel here.
I wouldn't
think
go
that,
quite that far, but I will say.
But I think that they're going to be too focused on each other at one point, and Gunther's gonna pull a Roman Reigns and stack them up.
I wouldn't go quite that far, but I do feel like at this point, I'm going to follow Tarek's lead on this. I feel like Gunther's reign is becoming way too strong. I really want to see him beat the Honky Tonk Man's streak with the title. So I'm also going with Gunther, but for very different reasons. Charlie, what do you got?
Much like Brian said, it would be something else to see Sheamus fulfill being a Grand Slam champion. But I got to go with Gunther on this one.
All right. And Jay, do we have something forming here?
This is hard for me to say. Oh, I'm going to regret this. But after the information that's been given, the praising, the points that have been made, all the details, Tarek, you can go on this one. You made me a believer. Let's give Gunther the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship. Let's have him retain, and let's let him beat the Honky Tonk Man's streak. There you are, sir.
And with that, Tarek, it's your final pick. I don't think the question is, do we have an accord, but how hard of an accord do we have right now? The floor is yours.
Rock solid, my man. Rock solid. For too long, that shit stain known as the Honky Tonk Man's record has been staining the Intercontinental Championship for far too long. It is time to lose the cartoony gimmick of the Honky Tonk Man and show once again that the Intercontinental Championship is the workhorse championship by the ring general breaking that record and winning at WrestleMania, and will eventually give Sheamus his Grand Slam win and a one-on-one match. Yes, that's going to happen, and I do want that to happen for Sheamus too. But this match, this is a cloud nine match for me. I love all three competitors. And I want to see the visual of Gunther double pinning. Now that was brought to put in my head, I want it to happen.
I'm down with that.
I don't want like Sheamus is about to win and Gunther just steals it. He's been booked way too strong for that kind of cheap heat. He is going, if anything, he is going to land the final blow. No matter what happens, he's landing the final blow. More accolades for him. He's pretty much he's going to be another Sheamus, and he's just going to win everything that WWE has to offer. King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, every single title match, Money in the Bank, everything. Give it to the ring general.
Oh, there's a bright future in the cards for him, I bet. But that will bring us to our final match of WrestleMania. We got Roman Reigns defending the undisputed WWE championships against Cody Rhodes. I'm not going to belabor this point. I feel like I've been hearing a lot of talk from people that we don't really know what's going to go. Is Cody really the guy? I'll answer that right now. Yes, it is absolutely Cody's time. Roman can't be a champion forever, and any of the other storylines they even have with his character and the bloodline in the aftermath, they don't require the title. Meanwhile, Cody can be made a solid main event top baby face they can have for years to come. Roman can take time off. Roman can finish other storylines at his leisure. He can do whatever he wants. Everybody wins, but it all comes down to one thing. Cody Rhodes wins and fulfills the storyline and becomes the next uber baby face for the next decade. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But Charlie, what story are you sticking to?
I'm sticking to looking forward to hearing 60,000 strong scream, "Whoa!" Cody Rhodes retains. Cody Rhodes wins. Wow, not retains.
We believe in
so
Cody
ready.
just
I'm
that
so
much.
Ready. I'm so ready for Cody Rhodes Mania that I'm putting him as champion.
Jay Bird.
Charlie time traveled to the next pay-per-view and said that he was going to retain.
Jay Bird, your final pick of the night. Who do you got?
Like you said, Cody's gonna finish the story, but it's gonna be the fans singing "Adrenaline in my soul." That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Something Cody Rhodes.
There you go.
All right, Tarek, your final pick of the evening. Who do you got?
Adrenaline in my soul. We got a champ named Cody Rhodes.
There you go.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes. It's so funny. I look back before he came back at the Royal Rumble, and I made it perfectly clear how vocal I was, how I didn't want him to win the Rumble. I didn't want him to win the championship. But it's from what they did, from the video packages of his return to the promos he's been having with Roman, the matches he's been having, I thought that Drew was perfectly placed to win. Cody's storyline just took 5 steps ahead of that. Cody is going to win the championship. He's going to merge the 2 belts. He's going to display his version of the Winged Eagle. He's going to get his custom belt. And yeah, he's going to be the top babyface of WWE for a good while.
And with that, Brian, the final pick of the evening. I'm assuming we have a chord, or do we? Make it official.
Choose Roman Reigns. Choose Roman Reigns.
Do it. Do it.
I can't. No, it's like I can't do that because it is very well known on this show that since he tore his pec and wrestled in the Hell in a Cell, I said from that moment right there that he was the guy to take the title off of Roman Reigns. That was before the Royal Rumble. That was before everything else. I said he was the guy from the moment he took his shirt off in that Hell in a Cell. So it's like, look, all right. And everything they did after he won the Royal Rumble just strengthened that and confirmed that and made it perfectly clear where they were going with it, because WrestleMania is the downfall of the bloodline, and it begins in this match because you're going to have the template of what they've done before in a Roman Reigns match, and he's going to expect the same thing to happen that's happened in every Roman Reigns main event title match, okay? And the Usos aren't going to show up. The Usos aren't going to do what he wants them to do because of what happened the night before. And this begins the blowing up and the end of the bloodline, and it sets up Cody Rhodes, and it's like the reason Roman Reigns loses because you still got to keep Roman Reigns looking strong in this whole thing. So it's like it's Cody Rhodes winning, becoming the top babyface in the company, and it's also continuing the storyline of the death of the bloodline, because what Roman Reigns expects to happen because it's happened in every match he's had since he won the title 2 years ago. Okay, and it doesn't happen because he's finally pissed off his family to the point that there's no return.
I'll even continue on with what Jeff hinted at, how he said that the next story chapter of the bloodline, it doesn't need the title, it doesn't need the titles. I will go one step further and say, in order for that story of the next chapter of the bloodline to continue, they have to lose the titles. Every single one of them has to lose the titles to continue on with the storyline of the implosion of the bloodline. I will say this, when it comes to the story of the bloodline, they're going to make documentaries of this group
For sure.
This stable is now just up there with some of the best storytelling that WWE has told in years, if not ever.
I'll go ahead and say it. I think I've already said it on this show. I'm like, this is the best storyline I've ever seen in any wrestling company since I began watching. This is a year and a half, maybe 2 years of ever since the Roman Reigns and was it Jay or Jimmy that were having those main event matches during the pandemic?
Main event Jey Uso.
Yeah, okay. Ever since that, everything that came after that is some of the best shit I've ever seen. And in order to complete the storyline, they have to lose these titles, and they have to continue the implosion, where quite possibly the Usos beat Roman Reigns.
Oh no! So from what they hinted at with them doing a repeat of Roman talking to Jay and Paul Heyman going, my tribal chief, did you find what you were looking for? And he just responds, yes, wise man. As a mirror to the Sami Zayn, exact same wording. Did you find what you were looking for? Yes, wise man. Roman's going to be the one that actually beats down the Usos. He's going to be the tribal chief is going to be the one that ends the bloodline.
Well, I get that from storyline perspective, but I think I think the matches in the end, Roman will be the one to kill the bloodline, but the Usos will win the matches in the end. If we're going for happy ending storytelling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree on that one. That's let's see. When do you think that's going to happen? You think they're going to have their match at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
There's certainly enough build for it.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, those are our picks for WrestleMania and Stand and Deliver. But now, finally, we're at the end of the road, but just the beginning of yours. So now is where we're opening it up to the rest of our listening audience and fellow fans. Who's going to win at WrestleMania? Which one is going to be the potential sleeper hit of the night? Which one are you looking forward to?
Yes.
We want to hear from you for all these questions and more. So drop us a line all across the internet, wherever we can be found, or you can join in the conversation directly on the Twitter machines. Fool, where can I reach you?
You can reach me at the Avatar.
Brian, where can I reach you?
You can reach me at Atomic Beanpole with my new championship, of course.
And Charlie, where can I reach you?
Reach me at Charlene.
And Jay, where can I reach you?
You can reach me at Hero Huey 316. And Brian, shine that belt up for me. I'll take it when you're done.
And you'll just watch me sit in the background and just enjoying the show at I'm Robbie Rage. And for all of these social links and much more, check us out, our link tree in the description box below. That's linktree/Scholars of Wrestling. And with that, we're finally ready for WrestleMania.
No, you're not. At
No,
least
I'm not.
Jeff, Charlie, you two aren't ready. Get those damn titles on your shoulders.
Oh, you mean this title for those of you who are watching us on YouTube
Yes,
and not
sir.
certainly not the podcast version of the show?
There you go. Now you two bastards are ready for WrestleMania.
I will take every title in this thing for your insolence. But you already knew that because you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Tarek, say it.
WrestleMania, baby.
WrestleMania,
Woo!
baby. Woo!
WrestleMania, baby. Woo!
WrestleMania, baby. Woo!
WrestleMania, baby.
WrestleMania, baby. Woo!
WrestleMania.